There's many mouse patterns out there. The Morris mouse is a good one too, and then there's a lot of the fancy ones that catch fishermen, sometimes more than fish, with the little ears and whiskers and tails and all that other stuff like this. This is designed by Gary Borger, and it's in his book, Designing Trout Flies. And that's I just copied the pages out of the book for that. So it's pretty simple, and basically the silhouette from underneath is what you're looking for. So he has put kicker legs in the back. So I'm taking a couple of grizzly hackle feathers, and I'm gonna just make legs out of them. And you want to get the concave side so it kind of goes out. Okay, I got kind of measured it like that. And again, this doesn't have to be super exact. So it kind of kicks out that way. Get rid of a little of this excess here. And then another pair. And you can put them on individually or put them on in pairs. I like to put them on in pairs because it just saves a little bit of time.
So I'm just going to use this olive dry fly dubbing that we're going to use.
And measure it.
So
Put it on the near side of the hook.
So we want a gray body on it. But I'll mention again, like,
Okay.
I have.
You could put a
Use this fly and its
rabbit strip tail on it, and then trim the hair off except for a little tuft at the end, or a little rabbit strip tail as well, made out of leather. That would work as well. So then you begin applying deer hair starting at the back. So you want to take out about a pencil-sized chunk of deer hair. Okay, it's a little too much. And you can pull out a few sticks. Some people stack this. I don't even bother stacking it. But I want to measure about how much I'm going to use, and then I'm going to cut the butts off. And that eliminates a lot of the fuzz as well. Okay. So then you pinch the hair. Do two really loose wraps. Then you hold the tips and spin the bottom. And do about 10 wraps through that. You can do a half hitch if you'd like. You can apply some glue if you'd like. And then you just get another one. I'm gonna actually put a little glue out here because I kind of like it all to hold together pretty well as well. I'm just gonna add a little glue on each little clump right here. Because you're just tying it in at the tips, and you're not spinning a whole clump, you don't really have to do much trimming at the bottom when you're done. That's another reason it makes it a pretty quick tie. So just get another clump. And again, you don't have to stack it. Cut off the butts. Lay it in front of that one. Two loose turns, hang on to the tips, spin the bottom. That's why you need strong thread. About 7 to 10 wraps through that. That's the next bunch. So it's not so hard. And again, I like stuff that's effective but easy to tie. Two loose turns, hang on to the tips, flare the butts. Because I don't care if it looks pretty on top, as long as the trout can see it from underneath, I don't worry about stacking the tips. Anytime you can save a couple of steps, that's a good thing. But I do like to make sure it's strong.
I've got two types of hackle here. I talked about it before. There's a difference between rooster hackle and
So a little glue doesn't hurt, or head cement. And sometimes you get a little bit of junk on the bottom anyway, because the tips aren't right, but you can trim that up later, or as you want to go, do it as you go if you'd like. puffs.
It's got nice rounded, very, rounded tips are what we want, because if you look at.
2 loose wraps.
And
a good hard pull.
Mount on here are sort of
Straight
intended to
down.
look like.
Just never let go of those tips until you get it
Okay.
where you want it.
That's the general idea.
And again, if you choose, and it doesn't hurt, you can do a half hitch at any time.
So again, we want to.
And basically, I'm just going to keep repeating this until we get to the head. So now we've put hair all the way along the shank, and we're going to put the last clump on and do the head. So again, same thing, 2 loose turns,
What I like to do is maybe.
pull tight.
So,
And this one,
so
instead of leaving, you can just kind of wrap all that head down
that your
into a nice finished head.
tips are aligned, you're naturally going to want to kind of
And
split out
whip finish.
to the side. Okay. And at that point, take them.
And then you can glue the head, and you can go underneath it if any of these are sticking out that you didn't quite get the clump right, that you want to just get rid of a little bit, to make it a little smoother on the bottom. And glue the head, and that is Gary Borger's Down and Dirty Mouse.
How would you fish that?
I would fish it, well, some people fish it like on Big Lake on the Brule at night, or some people fish it in big pools in Wisconsin where they think there's big browns at night. I have fished it on the Sutton River, which flows north into the Hudson Bay. It's a great brook trout fishery where we're skating mice for big brook trout, and I've also fished it in Alaska. And I'm going back to the Antioch River in Alaska to fish it again this summer, where it's really noted for a lot of skating mice.